Are we good? Are we live? Well then, might as well go ahead and get this party started. So, yo peoples, Shoe92 here. I got my fresh cut. Oh, it feels so good to get rid of all this hair that I had up here. I told you guys I was going to get rid of it, but I did not want to have to bring you another reaction where I had to say, don't worry, I'm going to get this cut off. So, I went ahead and got rid of it because I prefer a shaved head. I really do. But enough about me. You guys are not here for me and my haircut. You are here for my reaction to the next chapter of My Hero Academia. Ladies and gentlemen, we are entering into the Todoroki family healing saga, where we're seeing the backstory of the Todoroki family, how Toya got in his mind that he wanted to kill Shoto and just started him down the path of villainy. And now we get to see what's happening here. So let me go ahead and get this page all set up, and let me go ahead and pop out chat to the side so we can be able to see it. Suki! Wait. Am I saying that right? Suku? Zuku? Suku or Zuku? Also, Kitty Bree, welcome. Welcome as well. I made sure I paid attention, so you guys are up here on the side now. So we're good there. But let me stop delaying this because there's no One Piece chapter today, so I'm only doing a My Hero Academia reaction, and then I got a One Piece episode reaction after I'm done here, so it's definitely going to be done within a very quick amount of time. So don't worry about that. I might have a little gaming stream later on today. I might be playing some Skyrim VR to see if I can become a necromancer just like Sun Jin Woo. Might try my hand at solo leveling in Skyrim as a necromancer. So I might try that out, but we'll see. I kind of really want to do it because I wanted to do it yesterday. But like I said, let me stop monologuing and let's get to what really matters. So, chapter 302. I'll have my mic kind of close to me a little bit so that way I'm not just leaning forward all the time. I apologize if I've been doing that a little bit too much for you guys. All right. Let me just move chat here. Downsize a little bit. All right. Chapter 302. The Wrong Way to Put Out a Fire, Part 2. And we're still dealing with the flashback. We're still dealing with the flashback of when Toya tried to take out Shoto. And I can't tell if this is Ray saying this or if this is Endeavor saying this, but I'm gonna assume that it's Endeavor saying this. From now on, we're keeping Shoto away from the other kids. I'm too busy with work to look after him 24/7, which is why I hired help. But you, don't take your eyes off Toya. He just wants you to look at him, to notice him, that's all. Oh wait, that's Ray saying this. He just wants you to look at him, to notice him. That's all. All I can show anyone is the world of heroes. And it's pretty much this behavior that kind of jump-started Toya's whole behavior. It's Endeavor's behavior that jump-started Toya's behavior. Because in the last chapter, Toya said, all my classmates want to be heroes. But I can't understand why they would want to be heroes when you, my dad, a hero, behave the way you do. Like, I can't understand why my classmates would want to be heroes when you are the way you are. Endeavor is really the cause of all this turmoil in his family. And while I'm hoping to see him hoping to see the whole, I was about to be too preemptive and say redeemed, but while I'm hoping for this family to finally heal from this big mess, this is pretty much Endeavor's doing. His obsession with wanting to be number one and surpassing All Might led to him being in an arranged quirk marriage in order to produce an heir that was capable of surpassing All Might, since, Endeavor saw himself as not being able to do it. But moving on from this, all I can show anyone is the world of heroes. Heroes? Aren't you just running away? And as Ray say this, Endeavor glares at her, walking out of the room. because she done hit a nerve there. 5 years later. Rax, what's going on?
Hey, Toya, let's play.
Only daughter, Fuyumi, at 12 years old, and second son, Natsuo, at 8 years old. Oh, sure. First son, Toya, at 13. You know, it always escapes me that Toya, Dabi, is older than all of the kids. It just sometimes escapes me at times that he's older than all of them. The eldest child of Endeavor is seeking his death. Ain't that some mess? And then, as Toya, Fuyumi, and Natsuo are playing outside with what I would like to assume is the helper that Endeavor hired, we see Shoto stuck inside. Third son, Shoto, at 5 years old. Don't look at them, Shoto. Your siblings belong to a different world than you.
Just this one time, please. Let me play with Toya and them.
No, it's time to train your output capacity. And as Endeavor is saying this, he has like a little beard of flame popping up on his face. And as this is going on, it shows... As this is going on, this looks like Toya, who's looking in the direction of the house. Does he know what's going on, or is he trying to... Or does he sense what's going on?
I mean, that one time was my fault. Little Shoto didn't do anything wrong, but Dad's to blame too. Won't even pay attention to us because we're failed creations? Crazy, right? Is that what modern heroes are all about?
Yo, this dude is trying to sow some dissent in his siblings at a young age. The very same thing he did when he was broadcasting to everyone. I'm getting too close to my mic, sorry. The very same thing he did when he was broadcasting to all of Japan about Endeavor and everything, trying to sow chaos and discord. He's been doing this since he was a kid. Trying to whisper to Natsuo, trying to get him to wise up, trying to implant this idea in his mind, slowly trying to get him to agree with him.
I mean, that one time was my fault. Little Shoto didn't do anything wrong, but Dad's to blame too. Won't even pay attention to us because we're failed creations? Crazy, right? Is that what modern heroes are all about? Making all these kids they don't even need? Hey, why don't you bug Sis about this stuff once in a while? You're telling me to buzz off too, Natsuo? Natsu? Even you? I'm talking to you because you're the only one who gets it. You agree, right? The women in this house are good for nothing.
So he pretty much has a problem with both Rei. He's serious, even though he has a problem with Endeavor. He seriously has a problem with Rei and Fuyumi. And then we're cutting to the daytime with Rei.
Wait, you're about to run off to that mountain again, aren't you? Why don't you hang out with your classmates once in a while? I don't need friends. We live in different worlds.
Toya, do you even want to be a hero? As your mother, it looks to me like you're suffocating because of who your father is, and you're suffering for it. Toya, there are so many paths available, countless options for you. Try looking beyond your father. See what else is out there. If you do that, I'm sure you'll find the man you want to become.
What the heck do you know, Mom?
And he just glares at her. And this shocks Rei. And he says,
Where'd you get that tidbit? Some self-help book? I don't know. I know about Grandma and them being real poor, so they had to sell you off. You had no choice. So that's why I was born, right? You're guilty too, Mom.
The fire won't go out. Toya. Yo, he blames his mom as well. Winter, Toya, 13. And it shows him standing in front of his little training spot he's been using. And it's pretty much just almost fully engulfed in flames. I wouldn't say fully engulfed in flames because it does. The resounding forest around him is not caught up in flames as well. Toya was always small because he came out of the oven a little early, but at long last he had a growth spurt. Right.
It's just another bodily process. My firepower is linked to my feelings, so if I get riled up, I'm pretty awesome if I do say so myself. Man, Dad's sure in for a surprise.
Along with those physical changes, his fire changed from red to blue. Yo.
But dang, when I get worked up, I don't know why, but I start crying.
And then back at the household.
Listen, Dad, next time you get a day off, you gotta come to Sekoto Peak. You gotta come up to Sekoto Peak with me.
And in that instance, Endeavor immediately grabs him and pulls up his shirt, and it shows burns on Toya's body. New burns. Where can he keep them Where he can keep them hidden. He's been training that way on purpose. Darn it, again?
No, wait. What I can do now is really cool. You gotta come see. I might be as awesome as Shoto sooner or later. Maybe I'll even be better than All Might someday. Then you've gotta give me some respect, Dad. You'll be glad you created me. I just know it.
Good Lord. Oh my goodness. No child should ever have to say this to their parents. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness, that is so wrong to come out of a kid. But that's because of his upbringing. Oh my goodness. You'll be glad you created me? I just know it? How can a parent, even Endeavor, how can he look at his son after saying this and think, what I did was justified? How can he possibly even think that? This is some heavy stuff, man. You'll be glad. And he's a child. He's not even a full teen yet. He's literally 13, the first year into being a teenager, but he's still around a kid's age. Can you imagine a kid saying that to their parents? What type of can you imagine someone from the outside witnessing this conversation and thinking, what could have possibly gone on in this household for this child to say this to his father? You'll be glad you created me. Oh my goodness, that is heavy. This kid was desperate to just get his old man to just say, I'm proud of you. Man, I'm really starting to feel bad for Toya. And Toya's the one who's just trying to kill everybody.
You'll be glad you created me. I just know it.
And then Endeavor just stares at him. And then Endeavor just bursts into the room with Ray, who has Shoto with him. Why didn't you stop him? Huh, Ray? Darn it, that's all I asked you to do!
Don't bully Mommy! Stop it, don't be mean to her!
Get out, Shoto, it's none of your business. And as he's yelling at Shoto and Ray, Fuyumi and Natsuo are in another room, just huddled in a corner, just closing their ears, trying to block out this whole conversation. And then Ray is just thinking about when Toya said, what the heck do you know, Mom? And then it cuts to Ray thinking back then, when she first met Endeavor, before they officially got married.
Yes, my options were limited, but I made my choice and I walked that path of my own accord. I had hoped, if nothing else, that I would keep smiling, yet I can't stop him. And you didn't go after him.
And then it's showing Is the video still fine? I see it breaking frame, so I'm going to go ahead and bring this to a close if I can, so that way it doesn't cut off any important things that I'm saying. Sorry about that. Must be because the family's downstairs trying to watch their shows, and there's still some network things we're working out.
And you didn't go after him.
And then it shows Toya in the forest.
Quit crying already, stupid tears.
Oh, Okay, so now we're in the present day. We're cutting in between Toya, and now we're cutting to present day Ray.
And you didn't go after him.
And then flashback to Toya saying, "Quit crying already, stupid tears." Then present day Endeavor. I thought I'd only be throwing fuel on his fire. No, that's not it. Then back to Toya again, still crying.
Darn it.
Then to present day Endeavor. The truth is, I had no idea what to say to him. And then it cuts to Toya as flames start to erupt around his eyes, which probably would give us the origin of where his burnt eye skin came from.
Dad.
And then back to present day present day Ray.
Neither did I.
And we're not even halfway done. And this is flashback Toya as his whole body just erupts in flames. Man, that was... And then we're cutting to present day Toya. Man, that was hot.
The flames! Can't stop them!
Well, that's just desserts. All he ever taught me was how to turn up the heat. And in this moment, when Toya's body completely erupts in flames, it sets fire to the entire forest he's in. Not only does he set it on fire, if only I'd given it all up that day. Not only does he set the forest on fire, there is nothing left except charred trees. Like, think of that charred forest area in Ghost of Tsushima. That's essentially what this forest looks like. The charred forest in the utmost region of the game. That's essentially what this forest looks like. It's just nothing but a barren wasteland and burnt, charred, leaveless trees. If only I'd given it all up that day. And then it cuts to Endeavor speaking. But having killed Toya, I felt there was no turning back. So I poured all my energy into Shoto. Let me read this again. But having killed Toya, I felt there was no turning back. So I poured all my energy into Shoto, at the expense of everything else. Once Toya was gone, going back.
Once Toya was gone, you grew worse and worse. Until I couldn't stand the sight of you. It got so bad I even started seeing hints of you in the children's faces.
And then there's Fuyumi.
I knew our family was broken, but I was too scared to interfere. All I could do was to try and fix things just to keep up appearances.
And then we got Natsuo, the whole family speaking. It was you who started all this. You're the root cause, but... Maybe if I just slugged you in the face and made you have a few serious talks with them, Dabi never would have come about, and I would have been enjoying some good soba with Shota all these years.
You're not the only ones who's responsible.
And this is Ray again.
And now we all have to take responsibility for what comes next. Your heart may be broken, but we're here to get you back on your feet. You have no choice but to fight, Dabi.
And then Endeavor's just looking like, I don't wanna. Are you really the woman I married? And Ray doesn't say anything until...
One of our children, one who suffered much more than us. Well, despite having every right to resent me, he started calling me Mom again. He's been making friends at UA, and now he's the one saving us.
And she's looking over in the direction of Shoto, saying,
Shoto is our family's hero.
Yo! And then the chapter ends right here, but then we have another page afterwards. Next chapter hits February 28th. Wow, it's going to be a busy Sunday for me then, because One Piece Reflections, and then My Hero Academia, and then regular episodes. It's gonna be busy. Looking forward to it. But then Shoto's able to finally speak.
I talked with Mom before we came to see you. I thought this couldn't be your battle to fight, and that I was the only one who could do it. But I was wrong. Once you're done grieving, stand back up. 'Cause we all have to go stop Toya.
And then there's a cry going on inside because as Shoto's saying this, Endeavor is just bawling. Just eyes filled with tears, snot coming out of his nose. He's slightly drooling a little bit, I think. No, just tears and snot. That's all that is. But this is breaking Endeavor any more than any other villain he's ever fought. And we see like, oh, Shoto from the outside, we see none other than Hawks and Best Jeanist just chilling outside the room. And that's the end of the chapter. Ladies and gentlemen, it seems that the Todoroki family, I figured, you know what I thought? I originally thought that this whole fires the... Hold on, what is this chapter called again? I would have figured that this whole the wrong way to put out the fire parts would have gone longer than just part 1 and part 2, but they pretty much tied it all up in just these 2 chapters. In these, well, I want to say 3 chapters. And about these 3 chapters, they pretty much tied up this whole thing. Ending with the family coming together with the resolution of stopping Toya. Now, the thing is, the family isn't completely healed yet, but they're on the path to recovery. That's the good thing. But, as a lot of people point out to me in the previous chapters that I've done, reacted to, a lot of people have pointed out that all this wouldn't have happened if Endeavor didn't get jealous of All Might and covet his power and covet his status and try and force his will and ambitions on his children. Like, Fuyumi didn't meet it, Toya didn't meet it, Natsuo didn't meet it. Shoto was the one who got the 2 quirks, but he inherited his mother's weakness, which means that he's not able to regulate the heat as efficiently as he can with his cold. But all this started because of Endeavor's ruthless ambition to surpass All Might. And it twisted the mind of Toya to constantly seek his own father's admiration and respect and pretty much love. But Endeavor never gave it to him because when he saw that Toya had a weakness to his own flames, he pretty much just cast Toya aside. And this turned into a small ember of frustration that just blossomed into a raging inferno of resentment and hate. And it reached a head when he tried to lunge at Shoto. Then when Endeavor started to show more admiration for Shoto than any other of his kids, well, not admiration, but attention more than his own kids, this just pushed Toya even further and further. And he started trying to sow discord with his brother Natsuo, because he pretty much said that Fuyumi and Rei were pretty much useless and good for nothing. He resented his mom because he sees her as part of the problem as well. Then when his flames turned from red to blue and he saw that his power was growing even further, I mean, he got in his head thinking that maybe this will be enough to get Dad to love me. Maybe this will be enough to get Dad to respect me. Maybe this will get my father happy enough to say that he'll be happy that he created me. Like, when I read that is a hurtful thing. That is not something a child should be saying to their own parent. You'll be happy you created me. Do you want to know just how high an expectations that parent must have had to set to their child for their child to think, okay, maybe this will be enough. Maybe this will be enough for my parents to actually say they'll be happy they created me. Like, bruh, how hard Endeavor tried to push his own eldest son and then pushed him away just because Toya didn't meet his expectations. Then it all came to a head when he pretty much just ran away when he wasn't getting the love and affection that he was expecting. Ran into the forest, burst into flames, and just burned the entire forest down. And presumably, that's the fire that Toya pretty much died in, and then Dabi was born afterwards. But this is some heavy stuff. And here I thought that the backstory of Sanji was one that would get me all up in the feels. Hearing a child say, "You'll be happy you created me," to their own parent, that's just as heavy as Sanji saying, "Please let me out of this cage. I promise I'll be good. I won't do anything to make you embarrassed of me." Like, that's that level of heaviness that this chapter gives. That's the vibe that this chapter is given to me, especially when he says that. It's just amazing how far the story's going. Not just in terms of the narrative, but how it dives into the history and motives and personalities of these different characters. Not just heroes, but villains as well. But with it ending that Fuyumi, Natsuo, Rei, and even Shoto are all coming together with Endeavor to heal their family and stop Toya, it just shows that the Todoroki family are finally, after so many years, are finally on the path to recovery. I gotta say that this was a fantastic chapter. I may not have gotten up, but this is a 9 out of 10. This is a 9. No, you know what? 10 out of 10. Because now the Todoroki family can start to heal completely. Because they're now on one accord. It's not all peaches and roses. It's not all perfect yet. But it's a step in the right direction. And that's a good thing that this family needs. Wow. I wasn't expecting this chapter to be this heavy. This is just my opinion. You guys may interpret this chapter a little bit differently than me. But overall, I especially enjoyed this chapter. But, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you for today. Since there's only one chapter of something I react to on a Sunday being released today. So that's all I got for My Hero Academia reaction for today. With that being said, I just want to say thank you everyone for coming out to see me. Thank you all for the real large support for my solo leveling reaction streams that I've been doing, because they really kind of been blowing up, and it just surprises me that people like what I do there. But I'm grateful that you guys like what I do in general. So I love doing this. It is absolutely what I enjoy. I just want to say, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then consider subscribing, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples.